anything, but I have over the years heard grumblings that the White House generally doesn't have enough mass entertainment space, i.e. a big ballroom. So I'm trying to work myself into a lather of rage about this, and I'm coming up slightly short. Why is it winding so many people up that Trump is basically creating a space which was probably lacking?
Well, I'm really glad to see it, actually, Piers, because we finally...
So in this clip, we're going to watch Michael Knowles obliterate Brian Tyler Cohen and make Brian Tyler Cohen just basically get discombobulated when it comes to whatever leftist lunacy that Brian Tyler Cohen is going to say, because this is about the hypocrisy of the left crying about the East Wing when they don't cry about other things, other monuments and things like that. So I do find this pretty interesting. With that said, we're going to give it right back to Michael Knowles and Brian Tyler Cohen. Michael Knowles dismantling and eviscerating Brian Tyler Cohen, guys, and please give me a long duration for this one. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Let's go.
He identified one historic American structure that the left does not want to tear down. Of course, if it were a statue of George Washington or Abraham Lincoln or Christopher Columbus or an historic church in Washington, D.C., then they would want to rip it to the ground or burn it. But because it is a relatively recent addition to the White House that has been used for various purposes over the years, now they're all up in a rage. But I can promise them, don't worry, that what is going to replace it is going to be bigger. It's going to be much, much more functional than what effectively had become a First Lady's professional quarters since the Carter administration. It's going to be really useful, really beautiful, really patriotic, so I'm sure they'll want to tear it down then.
Brian Tyler Cohen, do you care? And if so, why?
I care because this puts on full display where Trump's priorities are. If you look at where he actually puts his energy, his focus, his resources, it's on a $350 million ballroom. It's on buying a couple of Gulfstream jets for Kristi Noem to the tune of $172 million. It's on hosting these crypto dinners where Trump has doubled his net worth. It's on gold plating his Oval Office. It's on making sure that he can get himself a Qatari jet that'll be retrofitted to the tune of $1 billion paid for.
They gave him the jet. They gave him the jet, Brian. Don't do that. Me and you, we both know they gave him the jet. So stop that, Brian. And I heard Brian was taking some dark money from somewhere. So, it's like, glass houses are a real thing. Like, what's going on? What about the dark money that you were taking, Brian? By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that is landing on this video.
Or by American taxpayers. This is where his priorities are. And all the while, we've got American farmers who are getting screwed right now. We've got Americans more broadly, 17 million of whom are going to lose access to Medicaid. We've got 24 million Americans who are going to see their ACA premiums double, triple, or quadruple. We've got inflation rising. We've got no manufacturing renaissance that was promised. We've got jobs completely flat. We've got wages flat. And all the while, Trump is only focused on surrounding himself with gold and opulence and wealth. And so it puts on full display what his priorities are in office.
I mean, he has got the hostages released in Gaza. So when you say it's his priority, why can a president of the United States not have multiple things that he's doing at the same time? The ballroom, I'm sure, is not to him a massive priority compared to trying to find peace around the world. But surely he can do two things at once. Johnny?
Caroline Levitt came out just days ago and said that the ballroom is his priority. And again, the fact is that Donald Trump did not run solely on releasing the hostages. He had plenty of promises that he didn't come. Where are the Epstein files? Those weren't released.
Brian, what you just said is a total lie. I'll let you get away with some of the other exaggerations, but what you just said about Caroline Levitt is a total lie. The question was, is Trump looking at restoring or renovating any other aspects of the White House? And her response was, no, the ballroom is his priority. Not his priority in the country.
This, Michael.
His priority is reopening the government that the Democrats shut down.
Do you know why the government is shut down? Do you know why the Democrats
because Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer shut it down because Obamacare doesn't work and they want to give health care to illegals. That's why.
First of all, that's a complete lie. There is not a dime of federal funding that goes toward undocumented immigrants, first of all. Second of all,
that's a lie, Brian. And the fact that Michael Knowles caught him in his lie that he told about Caroline Levitt, like, you're being a weasel. You really are. There's no reason to weasel. If you have complaints about the administration, there's plenty of ways to discuss it without being a weasel. And to say again that there's no federal funding going to illegals, like, Golly, like we can never get past these basic lies. Wow.
Well,
That
if
isn't
the
true.
Democrats relent on this issue, that means healthcare premiums for those 24 million Americans who rely on ACA coverage are going to double, triple, or quadruple. So are you in favor of that?
I agree that Obamacare has not worked out very well, and I wish the Democrats had done a better job when they passed
So
it.
answer the question that I
President
asked,
Trump
though.
offered a clean, continuing resolution, and they shut it down. And they shut it down, by the way, this gets back to your earlier point, because the Democrats are on the wrong side of virtually every issue in the country, other than health care, which they're barely holding on to, and environmentalism.
But healthcare is the
because of
issue that
they
the
have
government
nowhere
is
to
shut
go,
down
and they have
over
to
right
shut
now.
the government down to change the momentum.
Healthcare
No
is
one
why
cares
the
about
government
the
is shut down right
ballrooms,
now.
I
So I'm gonna reiterate the question that I asked you before. Do you think that Democrats should relent on holding this one issue forward, which is that if they don't do anything on ACA subsidies, that healthcare costs are going to double, triple, or quadruple? Do you agree that we should allow those costs to double, triple, or quadruple, and that Democrats should just allow the Republicans to do what they're trying to do, which is eliminate those subsidies?
The ACA is not a Republican law, my friend, and so I'm happy
Why
to
can't you answer
renegotiate
the question,
Obamacare.
Michael?
That would
It's
be
a real-
wonderful.
it's a really-
I'm answering
it's a
the
really
question.
simple
I'm telling you.
question.
I'm answering. I think it would be really good to fix Obamacare. We should do that. We shouldn't hold the government hostage.
You've had
We shouldn't
9
hold
years.
military members
9 years
hey,
we have been
hostage
waiting for
this.
some change. We've been promised a new healthcare plan by Republicans
Since you
for 9
guys
years.
passed
We've got
it.
concepts of a plan. That's it. We've got
Some change
concepts of a
from
plan.
what, Brian?
Brian,
Some change from what?
Brian,
From
if I may jump in, Brian. Well, hang on, Brian. If I may jump in, you've just spent the last 5 minutes talking about something other than the ballroom, having initially argued that this was Trump's priority. So I'm a little bit confused. If the ballroom's his priority, why are you moving the narrative so quickly to something else he's been doing?
What's the other thing he's been doing? I've been saying that what the Republicans are trying to do is not add those ACA subsidies, which would keep healthcare costs.
No,
where
I
they
get
are
it,
right
but you're
now.
talking about a totally different issue. I know, but you're talking about a totally different issue, which is the government shutdown. I made the point that Trump has also managed to get the hostages released in Gaza, that he's also trying to forge a deal to end the war in Ukraine. A president of the United States has a number of important things going on at any given time. The idea that the construction of a ballroom on the east wing of the White House is his top priority, I think is very disingenuous. Now, does he think it needs...
Wow. So, God, I can't stand Mark DeMont Hill. That'll probably be the next video we do, because I'm sure he gets dismantled too. Anyway, what you just heard was Piers Morgan hand Brian Tyler Cohen his behind on a silver platter after Michael Knowles did that too. Let me just say real quick about the ACA. He's talking about, we need to do different kind of subsidies or else people's insurances are going to triple. Y'all still doing that with the insurances? You know what that daggone ACA did to me? I was like an educated a young woman who kept hearing that the millionaires were going to give more money for insurance. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty nice. You know, that's pretty kind of them. And these bums were talking about me simply because I was single. My insurance had to triple. That's when I found out about like lies and politics. This is when I started to really pay attention. I was mad. So, yeah, get out of here. That Affordable Care Act, the only thing I can agree with on Brian Tyler Cohen about the Affordable Care Act is that I wish Trump did do something to get rid of it and bring things back to the way it was before, you know, because it's a mess and it has controlled healthcare more than you guys even understand. But it was fun to watch Brian get dismantled. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.